Welcome back to our Bible reading lesson sharing session with me. And today we'll be sharing lessons from Exodus 19 to 21. 2 months after leaving the land of Egypt, the Israelites came to Sinai and camped at the base of the mountain. Moses ascended the mountain at God's request, and God instructed him to tell the people the rewards of obedience and keeping his covenant. He told the same to the elders, who in turn informed the people, who all acquiesced to do everything that the Lord God had commanded. But we all know that didn't go that way. And then the Lord asked them to consecrate themselves and present themselves to him 3 days hence. I love saying that. And consecration meant, them being clean, washing their clothes, being clean and abstaining from sexual activity for the 3 days. When the Lord revealed himself on the mountain, I imagined the scene to be a strange and terrifying sight. All that smoke and thunders in reply to Moses' conversation with God must have had those Israelites scared. The people would have been shook, because I just tried to imagine it, and I myself imagined that I would have been shook. I found it interesting that the Lord had to reiterate his command that no one must approach the mountain. He had said it the first time, said it the second time, because he knew the people had coconut head. In chapter 20, God gave Moses the 10 commandments, and as he did, all the people were hearing were a trumpet sound, or the sound of the blowing of a ram's horn, depending on what version you read, thunder, the sound of thundering, noises, flashes of lightning, and smoke billowing from the mountains. Now, up there, Moses was having a conversation with God. But down there, the children of Israel were just seeing these strange special effects. And they were afraid. They asked Moses to speak to them and not the Lord. And he said, they said, don't talk to us. If the Lord you talk to us. If the Lord talks to us, we will die. But Moses reassured them and told them not to be afraid, but to fear the Lord. Now that seemed like a contradiction, but we'll get to that later. The Lord also gave the people regulations regarding the treatment of slaves and in cases of personal injury in chapter 21. I read through that. You might want to, again, just to hear some of the things that God said and some of his ideas with how the children of Israel should conduct themselves at the time. Now let's get to my hashtag getting to know God moment. God is to be feared, just like Moses had told them, but not in the way that we often think. We must feel dread towards God, kind of like the way Adam and Eve felt after they sinned and hid from God. But that kind of fear drives us away from God. So we mostly feel that, but that isn't the kind of fear that God is talking about, because when Adam and Eve found out they had sinned, they were afraid and they hid from God. Instead, the kind of fear we should have is the kind that is characterized by reverence and awe. This kind draws us towards God. The kind that is characterized by awe, delight, and respect. It keeps us from sinning against him and produces righteousness in us. So today, I ask you to consider the kind of fear that you have towards God. Is it the kind that makes you feel like when you sin, you don't go near a church, hence, or else you'll be struck by lightning? Or is it the kind that makes you come to him when you have sinned to get forgiveness and to revel and delight in him and to get the grace to go on and be stronger? That is the kind of fear that the Lord is asking us to have. And remember the verse in Job that said the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom? Yeah, it's this kind of fear, the reverence fear, and not the dread. I hope you've learned something amazing like I did from these chapters. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow, where we will be sharing lessons from Exodus 22 to 24. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.